Hi everyone, it's Haley with Ag in the Classroom, and I'm so excited to join you again this month. October, we are going to talk all about pumpkins. Have you ever wondered where pumpkins come from? Pumpkins are part of the squash family. They are related to melons and cucumbers, and they are similar to the other squash that we eat, like spaghetti squash or summer squash. They also come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. They don't just come in the orange color that we are used to using for jack-o'-lanterns this time of year with Halloween coming up. And they are not just round, some of them are shorter and flatter. Some of them get really big. Some are the really cute small ones that you might see at the grocery store. This time of year, we use pumpkins a lot for decorations, but they are used for in food. We use them as pumpkin pie. Some people eat the pumpkin seeds, which I've included in our kit so you can sample some. Pumpkins are also used to feed livestock after the rest of the United States is done using the pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns. The leftovers can be used for livestock, or it can go back into it can decompose and go back into the earth to nourish the soil for the next growing season. I can't wait to talk more with you about where pumpkins come from, how farmers grow the pumpkins, and all the different kinds of pumpkins. And then at the end, we can do some activities together. We are going to start with a short story about different kinds of pumpkins, the life cycle of pumpkins, and what they are used for.
Seed Sprout Pumpkin Pie by Jill Esbaum. Have you picked your pumpkin? A pumpkin seed is tucked into sun-warmed earth. Spring rains soften its tough coat. A root reaches for nutrients. A sprout reaches for light. Soon jagged leaves rise from twisty vines wandering in all directions. Bees visit golden blossoms, spreading pollen from flower to flower. Here and there, tiny green knobs replace wilted flowers. The knobs change color and slowly swell, growing heavier by the day. Cooler nights arrive, vines shrivel. Left behind are pumpkins. Pumpkins are a type of squash. They can be green, red, tan, yellow, white, or even blue. The pumpkins we know best are bright orange. There are tall pumpkins, short pumpkins, smooth or bumpy pumpkins. Wee ones, only inches wide, or giants you can sit inside. Thump, thump, thump. A pumpkin sounds hollow, but inside is string wet pulp and oodles of slippery white seeds. Seeds might be saved to grow next year's pumpkins or dried for a crunchy snack. Pumpkin pulp smells sharp and tangy, but can be made into delicious breads, desserts, and soups. Sugar pumpkins go into the spicy pies we bring to our Thanksgiving tables. The end. Unless, was there something else pumpkins might be used for? Oh yes, jack-o'-lanterns. Will you give yours a funny face or a creepy one to send shivers up your back? Will it be the head of a straw-filled scarecrow? Will your jack-o'-lantern decorate your kitchen table among striped gourds and sunset-colored leaves? Or will it set your porch aglow on a spooky Halloween night, lighting the way for a curious cat? Unused pumpkins are fed to farm animals or left in the field to nourish the precious soil. Awaiting spring under a wintry blanket.
Our story showed us that the journey of a pumpkin starts with a small seed. Farmers will plant their seeds in healthy soil, and the seed will germinate and then grow into a vine. So pumpkins are an interesting plant that they grow on vines instead of just straight up like flowers or corn or soybeans. They grow on a vine on the ground. So the vine produces flowers, and sometimes, depending on what kind of flower and pollination, that flower will turn into the pumpkin. Farmers have to be careful when they plant their pumpkins that it is in good, well drained soil. And then they have to take care of the pumpkin plants to make sure that they are pest free. So, plants that grow on the ground sometimes do get different diseases if their soil does not drain the water away. So, if they're sitting in soil that has a lot of water in it, the pumpkins can kind of rot away and it will not produce healthy pumpkins for all of us to enjoy. Here is a farmer planting pumpkins. They use some of the same equipment that you might see around here in Iowa, and we can grow pumpkins here in Iowa. We just don't grow a large amount of pumpkins. So in the big fields that you see, usually they are not filled with pumpkins. We usually grow them on a little smaller scale, or people grow them at home. These videos are showing that we do harvest pumpkins a lot by hand. We work alongside some equipment, but a lot of the time it is done by people. You can see the tractors and maybe a skid loader or something like that is definitely helpful and used, but a lot of the work is done by people. There are over 150 different varieties of pumpkins, so I won't be able to go through all of them, but I do have a friend that grows some pumpkins, and so she gave me some seed packets of the kinds of pumpkins that she grows. So we saw in our book that they can come in lots of different colors: white, bright orange, orange with stripes, sometimes even green with bumps, or smooth skin. So there are lots of different kinds of pumpkins. So first she brought me the seed of it's called Jack Be Little pumpkin. So they're little mini ones, and you can see the seeds look a little bit smaller, but they mostly look just like a regular pumpkin seed. Here's another little mini one. So this blend of seeds can be all different colors. So they can be white, they can be a little bit striped, and they can be orange. This one is a jack-o'-lantern kind, so it is called the Casper. So it looks like it has white on the outside and orange in the middle. And a lot of times the pumpkins that we use for pie have a white outside instead of the orange ones. And again, so you can see the seeds look almost, the seeds look almost the same size, even though they're totally different varieties. The little ones look a little bit smaller. And then she also gave me, these are some of my favorite ones. These are the fairy tale pumpkins. I think that they are called that because of Cinderella. So the fairy tale pumpkins are more flat and they get a little bit wider. And I just think they're such pretty pumpkins for decorations. And then this one, has anyone been to the state fair and seen the giant pumpkins at the state fair? So these are the seeds for the giant pumpkins. So again, even though this one is giant and these are mini seeds, can you see in the little picture here? The seed size is not that different. They are a little bit bigger, but these pumpkins are going to fit into the palm of your hand, and this pumpkin you could sit on top of. So even though they are two totally different sizes, the seeds really aren't super different, which is kind of cool. So like I said, there's a ton of varieties of pumpkins, and all of them have different purposes, different flavors, different looks. So they're just kind of fun. Next time you're at a pumpkin patch or even at the grocery store, check out the different kinds of pumpkins. They don't all look the same. The last part of our activity, we are going to go through the life cycle of a pumpkin again. So we are going to use a string, and if you remember, pumpkins grow on a vine. So this is going to be our vine, and we are going to show the life cycle of the pumpkin through on the vine. So this is our vine. The first thing that we need to start growing a pumpkin is a seed. So here is our little seed, and I've colored it brown. Seeds usually come in different shades of brown. And so that's the first step of growing our pumpkin. So we are just going to string that on. After you color it, you can just string that on to your life cycle vine. Then the first thing that starts to grow that you can see on a pumpkin is green leaves. So I colored a leaf. I colored a leaf green. We're coloring everything the correct colors, just like we see in nature. So I'm coloring I colored a green leaf. So we are going to put that on our vine next. we go. So here's our seed and our leaf. All right, after the leaves have grown, the plant is getting bigger, then the next thing that grows is a flower. And remember, what color were the flowers that we read, that we saw in our book? What color were they? Were they purple? No, they were beautiful fall colors like yellowish, orangish. So that's what color I colored my flower here. And we will put that on after the leaf. Then after our flower is pollinated, then what does it form? It forms a pumpkin. So right away, our pumpkin's orange right away. No, they are green first. So this first little pumpkin in your kit, we color green, because that's what color it starts with. And then eventually, after it gets bigger and more mature, then it turns into an orange pumpkin. And so we said earlier that pumpkins can come in all different colors. So make sure that when you're coloring it, you are choosing a color of pumpkin that we've talked about. So I don't think there were any, bright blue pumpkins, but they do come in lots of different colors. So you can use your creativity. If you want to just do an orange pumpkin, that's fine. But try to think of a different color of pumpkin or a different style of pumpkin that you didn't notice before. You can add some bumps to it because we said earlier they're not always nice and smooth. I added lots of different colors because I kind of like the ones with little stripes in them. So pumpkins are all unique and don't all look just like the orange ones. And then add that onto your life cycle string, or not life cycle string. It's our pumpkin vine. So here is our life cycle of a pumpkin all on a vine. How cool. It's a perfect fall decoration. I've also included some fun pumpkin math, so some pumpkin subtraction and pumpkin addition on the other side. So you can work on that in the classroom or you can take it home. The last thing that I wanted to include is pumpkin pie in a bag recipe. You can take this home and do it sometime, make it sometime. So there's a no-bake recipe, so you don't have to bake it. And then there's also a recipe there to actually have to bake the pumpkin pie. So pumpkin is in a lot of different things. It's not just in pumpkin pie. There's pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins. I like to make pumpkin pancakes. People can put it in their smoothies. We love pumpkin flavored drinks. So lots of different things that we can use pumpkins for, and people really enjoy the flavor of pumpkins. And I love decorating with them and looking at them in the fall time. So I'm so thankful for farmers for growing our pumpkins as decoration and for food.